So we are talking about second type of collision, that's called your oblique collision, or you call collision what, two dimension. Okay, oblique collision, or you say in two dimension. Okay, yes. So here bodies will be moving in a plane, not in one straight line. So here we have tried what will change is the momentum will be in two direction, x direction and what, y direction we have tried. Okay, let's see how they look. Suppose there is one ball, this ball, mass m1 moving with velocity what, u1, like this one. Okay, and this collide obliquely what, some other body m2. Let's say that this body is what, placed at what rest, for simple calculation. Okay, yes. So when they collide, this is before collision, right? Before collision. After collision they will move, this was straight line, let's say. Okay, they moves at what, not in a straight line but at different angle with what. Okay, so one ball is moving here, mass m1, and one ball is moving m2. Let's say velocity of this ball is what, v1, this velocity is what, v2. Okay, they are moving like that way. This angle let's call theta 1, this angle what, theta 2. These are the angles, correct. So what will change here now? Rules will be same, and here for our syllabus we have just like what do we say, elastic. No, we have both elastic and elastic. In elastic will be more simple. Okay, now look here. So what you will do, same rules you write. First you write conservation of momentum, right? Conservation of momentum. Then how you will say, this rule will be same. If like elastic, then conservation of momentum and kinetic energy both you will write. In elastic means you write only what, conservation of momentum, right? Okay, initial momentum is what, but here now what you will do, you write in x direction and what, y direction. Okay, okay. So conservation of momentum along what, x direction. First you are writing along x direction. What is the initial momentum along x direction? Look here, this ball was moving horizontally, so momentum initial what, m1 u1 is equal to, and this ball x is was at rest, so its momentum was 0 along x direction. What is final momentum along x direction? Okay, look here, they are moving at some angle, so you have to take component of these along what, x direction. Component of that ball along this direction becomes what, simply m1 v1, and the component of this theta is called cos theta what, 1, correct. And component of this ball along that direction becomes what, m2 v2 cos theta 2. These are the component of the momentum of these two ball in what, x direction. So here answer becomes, you write m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 1. That's your equation number 1. Then same way write along what, y direction. So we will get two equation for momentum here, along x direction, along what, y direction. Along y direction, this ball was moving horizontally, so in this case what is the momentum along y direction? 0. This ball was moving horizontally along, right? So no vertical component. This ball was at rest, so the momentum of this ball is what, 0. This is the initial momentum in what, y direction. This ball was moving horizontally, so there is only horizontal momentum, and this was at rest, so no vertical momentum at all. Okay, finally what happening, the component of this ball along that direction will be, that's called m1 v1 sin theta 1, and component of this along that direction will be m2 v2 sin theta 2, correct. Look here, horizontal momentum of this ball and this ball was in same direction, you wrote addition, but here you see this component is upward, that is what, downward in opposite direction. So final momentum will be, that direction suppose you call positive, then m1 v1 sin theta 1 minus m2 v2 sin theta 2, correct. Like you write, equate them, and something will be unknown here that you can find, like final velocities or something, right. Here also you can write what, conservation of what, kinetic energy. So by conservation of kinetic energy you can write, thus no change, it looks same only because kinetic energy scalar does not depends on angle how you are moving. So initial kinetic energy, like you write half m1 what you call u1 square plus this ball was at rest, so 0. This is initial kinetic energy, final will be half m2 v2 square plus, okay, first I write 1 m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. No problem in this, that will be same only like you have done last time. Okay, no component, you don't need to worry. Components you have write along for what, for conservation of momentum only, along x direction, along y direction. So these are the only we have equations to solve all the problem, no other special formulas. Okay. Okay, so we'll do some practice on this. There is one question very popular that I'll do first, then I'll give some more example. So one question is like this one, that like they said that one ball is placed at rest, other ball come and hit this ball, then always these two ball will move what, perpendicular toward each other. What's the question? That one ball is placed at rest, other ball come and hit it obliquely, okay? Then after collision the two balls moves what, perpendicular. This angle theta 1 plus theta 2 should be equal to what, 90 degree. Let's prove that. Prove that when a ball hits a stationary ball obliquely, okay, then after collision these two ball moves what, perpendicular to each other. Two balls moves perpendicular to each other. So recent pattern or NEET exam, they have been asking what your two-dimensional problem. So you have to understand this nicely, okay. So they said similar situation only. There was a ball of mass m1 moving in some direction with velocity what, u1, other ball was here m2 and the hit what, obliquely. Then after collision they are saying that prove that they moves what, perpendicular. This is ball of mass m1 v1, this ball of mass m2 v2, okay, mass m2, velocity v2, this angle is theta 1, this angle is what, theta 2. We have to prove what, that theta 1 plus theta 2 should be equal to what, 90 degree. Correct. So I will not write the equation again, because this equation only we will write, okay. Same equation we have write again, because I am saying that this ball is at rest, u2 is 0, that ball is moving, so almost same situation like this only, okay. So this equation already I wrote, the momentum in x direction, momentum in what, y direction. So I am continuing from here itself, okay. So how it looks now, let's solve this. Okay, so how to prove this, that theta 1 plus theta 2 should be what, 90 degree, these two ball will move perpendicular. So what's the condition, this ball is at rest, that ball comes and hit it what, obliquely, okay. Yeah, if this ball was moving, then it's not guaranteed that they will move perpendicular, this ball should be at rest, okay. Okay, so let's solve this. So what we do, first let's simplify this equation a little bit, half and these things we cancel. Then also one more thing I am missing here, here the mass of two balls should be what, exactly equal. What is other given condition here, mass are what, equal, that should be also there, means m1 is equal to m2 is what, let's call m. These two ball has what, exactly same mass, okay, mass is what given, exactly same. So I'm starting from here, you can start from here itself. This equation I am writing again, when mass is what given, same. Here just I wrote a general like m1 m2, here in this case mass is given equal, one ball at rest, one ball come and hit, then they move what, perpendicular, this we have to prove, okay. Let's write this equation. So mass is same, then what will happen, this term will get cancelled, m1, this all will be same. So we have this equation first, u1 will be equal to v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 1, equation 1 let's say now. Same, let's write this equation also here. Okay, masses I take and bring on other side becomes 0. So I got 0 is equal to what, v1 sin theta 1 plus minus v2 sin theta 2, that's the equation number 2, and this equation also I am writing here. So when I cancel mass also here all the sides, then what I will get, u1 square is equal to v1 square plus what, v2 square, equation number 3. Let's simplify these three equations so that we have to prove theta 1 plus that is what, 90 degree. What I do, equation number 1 and 2 square and add equation 1 and what, 2, square on both side and add this equation, okay, then what you will get. So look what you will get, square of this becomes what, u1 square of 0 is what, 0 only. So this plus 0, 0, u1 square and this is what, 0, okay. Square of this whole term, how it looks, a plus b, so a square b square plus 2ab, so it become v1 square cos square theta 1, right? This is the first term. Then second term, v2 square cos square theta, I missed here, I think it's theta 2, okay, theta 2 or theta, yes, theta 2 only. I also wrote here wrong, is theta 2, correct na? Please check it. This component of that body is cos theta 1, this is the component of that body theta 2 should come here, okay. Okay, square are done, then plus 2ab, so 2 v1 v2 cos theta 1 cos theta what 2, this is a square of this term, plus we have to add here what, plus in this term square of this term, that becomes v1 square sin square theta 1 plus v2 square sin square theta 2, and the a minus b, I am doing a whole square, so a square b square minus 2ab, so minus 2 v1 v2 cos sin theta 1 and sin theta 2, looking like that way, right? Okay, so now let's use little mathematics. We use this formula, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to what, 1. Where we getting that? Look here, look at same term, this term, v1 sin square theta, v1 cos square theta, okay. So I am writing u1 square is equal to, so what I took, v1 I took common here, so sin square theta plus cos square, this term becomes simply what, v1 square. Similarly this term v2 cos square theta, v2 sin square theta also take common, so become what, v2 square, okay. Okay, what is remaining? These two terms are remaining, right? Okay, so these two terms when I take plus 2 v1 and v2 common, I get what, this answer, cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 minus sin theta what, 2. Okay, now what you do, this thing you can replace from what here, replace it what here. So when replace v1 square v2 square, this term will get cancelled, right? Can you understand? u1 I am replacing from here, when I put here v1 v2, this term will be get cancelled with that, okay. So this term also go other side, becomes 0. Simply what I am getting is this, okay, this is also maths formula. This is what, cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, that's what, cos a plus b, right? So cos theta 1 plus theta 2 should be equal to what, 0. This term goes to the other side, becomes what, 0. Cos theta is 0 at what angle, 90 degree, right? So theta 1 plus theta 2 should be equal to what, 90 degree. Hence we proved that if two similar ball, identical ball, one ball at rest, other ball moving with some velocity collide what, obliquely, then after collision the two ball will move what, perpendicular to each other, right? Yeah. So we are doing some problem based on what, the oblique collision. So few examples are in front of you, let's do them. So problem number 1, it says that a block of mass m is moving with speed v, collide elastically another identical block at what, rest. Second block is given at what, rest. After collision, the first block at angle theta moves, I think I forgot to write here, moves at angle theta to the initial directions with velocity of what, v by 3. Find the velocity of second block after the collision. Two blocks are there, one block is moving, one block placed at rest, and the first block moves an angle theta to the initial direction, they are saying, and its velocity also given. They are asking what's the velocity of the second block. So let's draw. This is the initial situation. This block u1 is velocity given something given v, and mass m. The another block here u2 is given 0. After collision, they're saying the first block moves at some angle theta, okay, here with velocity v1 is given as v by 3, this, okay, and some block, other block is moving here, we don't know what is that angle, this is theta again, this theta we call, and that's what, v2, this is block m2. So they are asking what's the velocity v2. So look, it's a very simple question, because you should not confuse velocity of this ball given initial, this is given 0, velocity of one ball we know, and one ball we have to calculate, simply velocity we have to calculate. So we should not write the conservation of momentum here, we don't need, directly you can write conservation of kinetic energy, because only one thing is unknown, what, the final velocity of what, this block. So conservation of just kinetic energy will write, okay, of kinetic energy only writing. Let's write initial kinetic energy. You say half mv square, half mass of this block is m, velocity is what v square, plus this block is what 0. This is the initial kinetic energy. Done. Right. Final kinetic energy of that body, half mass is m and velocity is what v by 3 and square, plus half mass and velocity of this ball we don't know, which we have to calculate. Simply writing conservation of kinetic energy alone, because we have to find the velocity of the second ball, and one ball is already given to us. This here we know all the things, here we know this only one thing unknown. Okay, yes, let's solve this. So how much this comes? So this is half mv square simply, and this term come on this side becomes minus half mv square, and this becomes what, 1 by 9 is equal to half mv2 square. Half and m, all these things you can cancel. So v square minus v square by 9, this becomes 8 by 9 of v square is equal to what, v2. Okay, this is your v2. So v2 will be simply equal to square root of this. So root 2 you can write 2, root 2, that you can write 3, then you can write what, v. That's your answer simply. Okay, so here no need to write like conservation of the momentum. Okay, suppose this velocity was also unknown, then you would write what, conservation of momentum to calculate the velocities, right? Yes. Okay, let's see the next problem. Problem number 2, which says that two blocks A and B of mass m1 m2 respectively, A is initially at rest, A is rest, and B is moving with velocity of what, v, in x direction. Okay, in x direction. After collision, B has the velocity of v by 2 in a direction perpendicular to the initial direction. Okay, then mass A moves in a direction. We have to find what is the direction of the mass A after collision. So let's draw it here. So this is one block, this is a block, another block, and who is at rest? Block A is at rest. Let's call this block A. Okay, I write here block A, block B. This is a mass m1. No, block A and B of mass 1 m2. So this block has mass m1, this what, mass m2. This was moving with velocity what, v, block B, and this block was at rest. U2 is what, given 0, U1 is given b. Okay, after collision what happens? After collision they said that the block B moves what, in a perpendicular direction to initial. Suppose initially they are moving horizontal, then block B is moving in this direction. This is a block B, and what velocity given here? V1 is given, let's say v by 2 given. Where the block 2 moving we don't know, we draw just here. Let's write angle theta here. That angle we know 90 degree, and so this is how much, v2 you have to calculate. This is what your block number what, A of mass m1. This is mass what, m2. So you have to calculate angle actually in which direction the block A is moving after the collision. Okay, here we write now the conservation of the momentum in x and what, y direction. Okay, momentum in x direction, let's write conservation of momentum in what, x direction. What is the momentum in initial direction, x direction is m2 into what, v. This is what, simply 0. This is not moving. Okay, this is x direction. Finally x direction, this ball is moving perfectly vertical, so no component what in x direction. Component of this only you have to take. So that becomes what what name we are giving. Okay, m1, m, doesn't matter, what is all similar. Okay, so let's component of this mass we calling m1, and let's call this as what, like v2, and this we call what, v1, doesn't matter. Okay, so m1 v1 and component of this, let's call what, cos theta, equation 1. Momentum in y direction, let's talk. Momentum in y direction initially is 0, this 0, that also 0. That's moving horizontal, so vertical component is 0, that's at rest, so 0. That's the initial momentum in y direction. Final momentum in y direction, one is this one, m2, and v2 is already given. How much given? V by 2. And this is the momentum of that ball which is upward, and momentum of this will be in this direction, downward. So you write minus, that becomes m1 v1 and what, sine theta. Okay, this is the momentum. Now these two equations we have to solve everything from here. So look here, this is simply equal to 0, so you can write what, this also you can write simply m2 v by 2 is equal to what, m1 v1 sine theta. So if you watch carefully, equation 1 or 2, whatever, let's divide 1 by 2, what you will get? When you divide this equation, you know this m1 v1 term get cancelled, we get tan theta. 1 is equal to tan theta is equal to what we getting? M2 m2 get cancelled. We did this by that. Okay, so we getting just what, 1 by 2. If you watch carefully, just we getting 1 by 2. So theta is coming what, tan inverse of what, 1 by 2. That's our answer. So this angle is what? Tan inverse of what? 1 by 2. Correct? Okay. Okay, let's do last problem. It says that a ball of mass m hits the floor with velocity v. A ball hitting a floor with velocity v, making angle of what? Incident as 45 degree with the normal. Find the speed of reflected ball. Like we learn in optics. Okay, so this is what your surface, this is your normal, and ball is coming here. This angle is given 45 degree with velocity mass and velocity v. It reflect back with some angle theta days with velocity v days. Okay, we are interested in knowing what is the velocity of reflection. So let's write conservation of momentum. Momentum along x direction writing. What is component along x direction? You say mv, and what sine 45 is equal to mv days and sine theta days, right? So mm goes from here, sine 45 we know. So v days sine theta days is coming what? V by what? Root 2 equation 1. Let's write along x direction. So along x direction, initial momentum will be, you write m, v and cos 45. Also give attention here, because with that we are talking about normal direction. So the velocity and momentum component will be changing along what? Normal direction. So here you write E times of this is equal to final momentum. Final momentum is what? M and v days and cos theta days, right? Again mass get cancelled here. Less E value is what? 1 by root 2 given into v cos 45 is what? 1 by root 2 is equal to what? V days cos theta days. So if you see, this is coming what? Simply v by what? 2. Okay, this equation what we do? Sin theta cos theta square and add both sides. So we get what? V days square is equal to what? Simply square addition of this will become 1 v by 2, that v square by 2, this become what? V square by what? 4. This becomes how much? You take become 3 by 4 of v square. So v days will be simply root 3 by 2 of v. That's our answer. So give attention here, only this term. Here the momentum changing along what? Normal, direct, normal to what? Your surface. So I am writing like that one. This is final, that's what? Initial. So E times I am writing. Okay, here the velocity changing, that you have to give attention. Okay. Okay, now what we will do? We will do some one small topic is remaining, like rebounding. You drop a ball to the ground, then it will rebound many times before stopping. So that problem will do, then the collision will be over. Okay, so we are doing a problem based on what? Collision. That's called bouncing of ball. Okay, or bouncing ball. After this will be done with what? Of collision. The complete chapter will be over. So bouncing of ball. Okay, what happens when you have ball, a good elastic ball, and you drop on a floor, right? It's a ball. You drop on a floor, it will hit here. So that height, let's call that height as h. Okay. So like from we dropping without initial velocity what? 0, correct? We just drop a ball. It will fall from height h. When it hit here, we know what is the velocity at the ground? Root 2 gh, right? By writing equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to what? 2 gh. That equation we can write. So we get velocity at ground when it's hitting is what? 2 gh. Now this floor is what? Not like a good elastic. So what happens? Some energy will be lost. So it will not rebound to what? Same height again, we know, right? So it will rebound to what? Some height. Say that much height. Okay. So that height we call what? h1. And it start with what? Velocity, let's say v1. It will go to that height, again it will what? Fall back, right here. And again next rebound, this height will be again less. It will rebound to what? That much height. Again it will fall back, right? So that's h1 only, and this is what? h2, right? Again it will bounce to another smaller height. It will fall back, that's we call h3. It goes on, right? Till it's what? Stops. Correct? Na? Keep bouncing for some time, then it will stop. So we are interested in knowing these things, like suppose you drop from height h, then we want to know that, like this is called first rebound, right? This is called what? First rebound, right? First rebound. Similarly, this is called like what? Second rebound, right? So we are interested in knowing that, like what are the height achieved and what are the velocities in this what? Any rebound. Okay, v2 here, say v3, right? h3. correct. So a few things we want to know which you have to remember directly, and this all we getting from collision only by writing conservation of momentum and energy principle. Okay, yes. So first thing we are interested in knowing that what you want to know. First question, let's write like suppose we drop from height, when it hit the ground its velocity is what, v, right? Then at what velocity it will rebound, correct na? At what velocity it will rebound, in first rebound, then in second rebound, in 10th rebound, nth rebound. Okay, so velocity in what, nth rebound. Okay, so we are writing conservation of momentum. I am not writing here already. So what answer comes here, if you watch carefully, it will come velocity achieved in nth rebound will be e power n times of what, the initial velocity which is hitting, that velocity. So you drop from some height, either height will be known to you or velocity will be known to you, that at what velocity you hit the ground first time. When rebound, the velocity will, that v1 will be less than v, and how much, that is what, e power n. N is the name of rebound, like first rebound, second rebound, so you can put here n, 1, 2, 3, right? This is the velocity. If you velocity don't know, then velocity is what, root 2gh. So you can write e power n into what, root 2gh. A ball is dropped from some height h, 1 meter, 10 meter. What's the velocity achieved in what, third rebound, fourth rebound? You put here n here, that height here. That's all things are known to you. Okay. Similarly, other question they will ask you, like what is height achieved? Height achieved in what, nth rebound. Okay, what is that? Then how this answer will come? It will come like height achieved in nth rebound will be e power 2n into what, initial height. That's all. This will be your simple formula. So these things you have to remember directly, no big things. Okay, okay. Similarly, what question they will ask you, the time taken in nth rebound. What is the time taken for what, nth rebound? Okay, like this first time rebounding, how much time will take to reach from here to here, right? Time taken to what, nth rebound. So the time will be, n will be again simply e power n into what, t, and t means this is the time of the first, that time falling, which you can also write e power n into root 2h by what, g. That's the time to fall, first time, right? Velocity first time. Okay, apart from these three questions, what they can ask you, they can ask you what is the total time taken or total distance covered in what collision, like this one. This is the first h, then h1 plus h2 plus h3 and less. This total distances, if you add, then we will calculate total time, that distance covered what. So total distance covered before it stop, okay, before stop rebounding. Okay, so that total distance will be initial distance, whatever what height we are dropping from, like h plus 1 plus e square upon 1 minus what, e square. Same way they can ask you total time elapsed, total time it takes to stop rebounding. What is total time will take to stop what, rebounding? The time will be again like similar, only initial time t plus 1 plus e upon what, 1 minus what, e, like this. T means what, initial time, when it's dropping from some height, how much time will taking initially. So that time is what you can also write in terms of like 2h by g. So you can also write time will be root 2h by g. If you don't know time, then you know height. So 1, no, this is not in root, 1 plus e upon 1 minus e. Okay, these are the few questions based on what, some rebounding. So we have done now this our collision topic completely. Solve the problems from your textbooks, and if you have any doubt, please put your comment, okay, from this lecture part. Thank you.